The year is 9009. Humanity nearly went through a whole ass extinction back thousands of years ago due to a near world-ending war called the Rad Wars.
Rad! They weren't rad, they were bad!
Fortunately, from the ashes, the Great One, aka Quasar, rebuilds society and creates an extreme sporting event called the game. The rules are simple: 2 teams, 2 balls, 1 winner. All the teams need to do is get their ball into the opponent's goal, and while that's happening, you can violently murder or maim your opponents. Thanks to this ultra-violent rollerball-esque game, humanity has had their thirst for violence and entertainment quenched, which leads to a peaceful and prosperous society. Kinda. Now, we're at season 2 of Ballmastrz 9009, a show created and directed by Christy Caracas, creator of Super Jail. We've been following our ragtag team of lovable losers, the Leptons, for 10 whole episodes, and now we're here for more. Any fan of Ballmastrz would know that there are a lot of homages, parodies, and just straight up references to anime. So, Adult Swim has asked me, Tim Liu, host of Crunchyroll, and just some guy, to go over some of the anime references of the new season of Ballmastrz. So, grab your balls and let's start rolling in. Ballmastrz. Straight into it, we actually skip episode 1 and go to episode 2. Why? Because this episode has a moment that parodies Pokemon. That's why. Now, some facts about this legendary series. It started as a Game Boy game back in 1996 with the release of Pokemon Red and Blue, with the anime first televised in April 1997. Pikachu and the Pocket Gang have pretty much taken over the entire world with their lovable characters and creatures. But this is Ballmastrz we're talking about. Nobody got time for lovable moments, I guess. I guess STD is a result of love. Episode 3 comes rolling in, and this reference is actually quite multi-layered. First off, we got a nice Grand Lagan reference with the art style that's a direct homage to the eye catchers on the show. Then we get a Beast King Go Lion reference, also known in the West as Voltron, where the Robo-Nuns combined to become one big Robo-Nun. And when you thought that was it, once the giant Robo-Nun is revealed, we see some life fibers and a font style that's an obvious reference to Kill la Kill. Let me run down 3 of these animes real quick. Tengen Toppa Grand Lagan, the first anime, is about the drill fandom and was animated by Gainax and co-produced by Aniplex, first televised in April 2007. Beast King Go Lion is a classic mecha anime series that was animated by Toei Animations, first televised in March 1981, and then it was chopped and screwed and Americanized to be known as Voltron, Defender of the Universe, and that was televised in September of 1984. Fun fact, for season 2 of Voltron, they actually use a whole ass other anime called Armored Fleet Die Rugger 15 and is referred to as Vehicle Voltron by fans. Back on the track, the last reference is the hyper-action anime that tells nudists to never lose their way, Kill la Kill, animated by Studio Trigger, televised in October 2013. Also, another fun fact about Grand Lagan and Kill la Kill is that both of these series have been directed and written by the same 2 people, Hiroyuki Imaishi and Kazuki Nakashima, respectively. Next episode, episode 4, we have a back-to-back parody of 2 classic anime movies. First reference is extremely easy to see that the rabies-infected Motoros are in fact parody of My Neighbor Totoro, the movie about 2 girls and a species of velvet worm called Europeripatus Totoro. Just joshing ya. But that is a fun fact. The worm's binomial name is indeed based off the movie's titular character, Totoro. And some quick facts about Tonari no Totoro. It was written and directed by acclaimed creator Hayao Miyazaki, and animated by Studio Ghibli, released in April 1988. The next reference is a cyberpunk classique. Anime animated by Tokyo Movies Shinsha, now TMS Entertainment, and directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, who was also the mangaka of the Akira manga, which was published December 1982. The film then hit the big screen in July 1988. From the get-go, the little red bikes that the Motoros are riding is a clear reference to Kaneda's Sweet Ride. There's also another tiny small reference to Akira when one of the Motoros has a gold pipe and does a little sparky thing when he hits the ground fast. And that is a reference to the first bike chase fighting scene in Akira, where Yamagata also does that little sparky thing. But we're not done with Studio Ghibli yet. Oh no, we're back to another Ghibli reference, and it's one of the top 5 Ghibli movies that makes me hungry. It's Spirited Away, also written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Fun fact, I'm dying to eat that jelly-looking, chicken-looking food at the start. DM me if you know what the hell that is. This scene where Ace and Baby Ball fall from the skies, and Ace dramatically asking if BB is truly his best friend, is a direct parody of the classic scene where, spoiler for a 19-year-old movie, Chihiro and Haru cinematically fall together as she remembers that he was the spirit of Kohaku River. Great moment, great classic hits. But this one, Baby Ball tells Ace to go screw himself, you stupid orphan bastard. Damn, buddy. So it's episode 5, and this scene is again parodying the Leptons have gotten themselves in a Make-A-Wish foundation and ends up in the care of a boy man named Rudy. Fans of Akira will easily see Rudy is a reference to the Numbers, a group of experimented children who all have psychic abilities and who all look like an old man or an old lady. More specifically, Rudy is a reference to Takashi, aka number 26, having similar eye shape and a similar haircut. Also, gotta love the gang's unapologetic disdain for this poor kid with no limbs. God damn. The next reference is Robotech, which is a Frankenstein monster produced by Dr. Harmony Gold, USA. Gather around, children, and let me tell you a little story real quick. Around the mid-1980s, Harmony Gold got a direct-to-video distribution right for an anime called Super Dimension Fortress Macross. But for, big brain business reasons, Harmony Gold decided to mix in 2 other animes called Super Dimension Cavalry Southern Cross and Genesis Climber Mospedia together with the Macross to create the Robotech animated series. Incredible. That's a lot of words, those 3 animes. Anyhow, real quick, the reference to Robotech is actually the flower of life, a major source of energy that the factions in the Robotech universe fight wars over for. We see this when Rudy, the kid who looks like Benjamin Button, got a whiff of the Ballmastrz flower of life, which doesn't give the kid life at all. It just kind of gives him terminal illness with no limbs. Also, where are we at? Are we done? No? You got more? Jesus Christ. So the next reference is the finger gun teen delinquent extraordinaire underworld story, retweet if you're a 90s kid, YuYu Hakusho. Manga was written and illustrated by Yoshihiro Togashi, first published in Weekly Shonen Jump in December 1990, with the anime animated by Studio Pierre and televised October 1992. The reference here is clear.
We can clearly see Flip Champion rocking the green Japanese school uniform, also known as a Gakuran. Also, the main bully looks just like Kurama wearing Kuwabara's outfit, and he looks like he had a crossover with Gakuen Handsome. So, I got a 2-for-1 reference.
Gakuen Handsome actually began as a BL romance adventure game for the PC by Tohoku Pennant. After amassing a big old fan base in Japan, the creators made a crowdfunding campaign to animate this masterpiece. And they did, raising 6.9 million yen, nice, going 346% of their original goal. Animated by Team Yokyukyu Fumin, it was televised in September 2016. Goodness, look at that chin. Right after that very moment, in Ballmastrz, we get a reference to another 90s classical anime series, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Produced by Gainax and Tatsunoko Productions and directed by Hideaki Anno, broadcasted in October 1995. Where's the Evangelion reference, you ask? Well, fictional audience, you see that, scientist? Yeah, that's a reference to the iconic Gendo Ikari, number 4 in the worst dad of the century list. There's a whole list, check it out. Then, right after that, another moment, we see another reference. This time, it's the legendary post-apocalyptic martial arts masterpiece, Fist of the North Star. Manga was first written by Bronson and illustrated by Tetsuro Hara, serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, September 1983, with the original anime animated by Toei Animations, first televised in October 1984. The guards all have the classic Fist of the North Star post-apocalyptic swag. As you can see, the mohawks, the spikes, the refurbished American football gear, all the boxes have been checked. In this parody version, instead of saving the dying moms and orphans, Flip Champion just kind of wraps himself with his umbilical dong and just kind of goes to town on himself. So that's a big difference from Kenshiro. Omae masturbate yourself or something. Last parody for episode 5 is a modern classic with some of the best aesthetic and opening songs, Bleach. Written and illustrated by Cool Guy McGee Type Kubo, it was then turned into an anime in October 2004, animated by Studio Pierre. This one is kind of a hard spot because it's referencing a particular moment in Bleach where Shinji Hirako and the Wizard Gang are posing ready to fight. Also, on top of that, Quasar kind of looks like Shinji when he had long hair, so I guess that's another tick on the Bleach parody list reference. So, on to episode 6, we have the cute but deadly character, Delina Didi Danita. She reveals a secret, that she was once a whole ass parody of Vampire Hunter D. You get it? D? Didi? Delina Dina? Vampire Hunter D? The jokes write themselves, folks. Vampire Hunter D was first a series of Japanese novels written by Hideyuki Kikuchi and illustrated by Yoshitaka Amano, most well known for designing characters like Gatchaman, aka Battle of the Planets, and doing illustrative work for the Final Fantasy series. Coming off episode 6, we have 7. Yes, I know how to count. Now, this parody really doesn't need much explanation. If you know, you know. Even if you don't know, you probably know. It's Attack on Titan. Manga written and illustrated by Hajime Isayama, published by Besatsu Shonen Magazine in September 2009, and the anime coming out in April 2013, animated by Wit Studios. As I said, this one really doesn't even need a breakdown. It says Titans in all caps in the clip. What more could you ask for? Segueing into the next parody moment, we have Lulu doing Is That a Mother JoJo reference? Yes, it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, manga written and illustrated by Hirohiko Araki for Weekly Shonen Jump in January 1987, with the recent anime adaptation animated by David Production and televised in October 2011. This scene has a fair few references to our favorite Bizarre Adventure about people named JoJo. Not you, Siwa. So let's go over those references real quick. First off, we got the classic JoJo face. Then Lulu gets a fresh cut, just like Josuke from Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable. Then she hits the torture dance from Part 5 Golden Wind. Then we see a bootleg JoJo and a gender-bent Bruno Bucciarati. Then we see a gender-bent Leone Abbacchio, regular Jean-Pierre Ponriff, Trish Una, and a non-gender-bent Bruno join in on the torture dance. So, begs the question, are there two people in the club with the same Bruno haircut? I can believe it.
Oh, and let me sell out real quick and be sure to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on Crunchyroll.com.
It's episode 8 and we have the suave, smooth criminal Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third manga was written and illustrated by the late Monkey Punch for Weekly Manga Action in August 1967. And then the first anime was animated by TMS Entertainment and televised in October 1971. This one is a simple homage to the Lupin's character, as the design of the sleazy manager in this episode is extremely similar to the titular character. Actually, for funsies, let me throw in another reference from Gurren Lagann. The manager character in the show is wearing Kamina glasses, so yeah, I'm just gonna throw in that one. No, actually gonna throw a baby ball. Episode 9 rolls through and the Leptons are going against a team of literal man-eaters, and their captain is called Vorlord. Yeah, if you're curious, Google Vor, and be sure to remove the safe search. Now, the captain of the Vorlord is actually very familiar to a certain devil. Man, The Devilman manga was written and illustrated by Go Nagai for the Weekly Shonen magazine in June 1972. The most recent anime adaptation, called Devilman Crybaby, was animated by Science Saru and started streaming in January 2018. Now, the Warlord is not only based off the titular character, but also off of Lord Zenon, because both Warlord and the Lord Zenon have a face on their stomach, looking like an edgy Teletubby. But I have to say, Warlord's stomach face looks a lot like Frylock. So I guess that's a slight reference to Aqua Teen Hunger Force? You decide. Speaking of Go Nagai, the next reference is a mix of two of Go Nagai Sensei's works, Mazinga Z and Getter Robo. Mazinga Z manga was also written and illustrated by Go Nagai for Weekly Shonen Jump in October 1972, and the anime was animated by Toei Animations 2 months after the manga in December 1972, while the Getter Robo manga was created by Go Nagai but illustrated by Ken Ishikawa for Weekly Shonen Sunday in April 1974. The anime adaptation was also animated by Toei, and it actually was televised 3 days earlier than the manga. Now, time for the breakdown of the reference. The first two moves by Ace and Baby Ball in their Ballmastrz form are a direct reference to Mazinga Z's Rocket Punch and Drill Missiles, respectively. The next move, where Ace turns Baby Ball into an axe, is a direct reference to Getter Robo's and its move, Getter Tomahawk. So I guess it's the Ballmastrz Tomahawk. It's the final episode, episode 10. In this one, there isn't much to say, so I'll do it real quick. It's another Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann reference. This time, the show references the Lagans, which are the mecha robots in the Gurren Lagann universe.
Also, there is a slight little reference to Evangelion again with this sick 2 blue spear of Longinus. Or maybe it's the Halo Energy Sword.
Okay, that's it. Told you this reference was quick. The final reference to wrap this video up is a mashup of the Mobile Suit Gundam and Space Battleship Yamato. Facts about the Gundam first. Produced and animated by Nippon Sunrise, now known as just Sunrise, and is created and directed by the godfather of the real robot genre, Yoshiyuki Tomino. First aired in April 1979, and it changed the mecha genre forever. Now to the classic space opera, Space Battleship Yamato. The original anime was produced and written by Yoshinobu Nishizaki and directed by legendary manga artist Leiji Matsumoto, who is most well known for his manga, Space Pirate Captain Harlock, Galaxy Express 39, and was the visual supervisor for Daft Punk's Interstellar 5555. If you couldn't already tell, this man loves space and numbers. Also, some of you might be like, hey, I've seen this anime, but it wasn't called Space Battleship Yamato. Well, hypothetical anime boomer fan, it's because this was released in the US with a whole new ass title called Star Blazers. Some final fun fact for y'all. So in this Ballmastrz scene, the cockpit looks very reminiscent of the general 70s space opera anime, but specifically the cockpit of the space battleship Yamato. Quasar's captain outfit is also a homage to Captain Okita's military garb, and the uniform of the Leptons is a reference to the uniform of the Earth Federation from Mobile Suit Gundam. Okay, so that is not all, but it's some of the anime references, homages, and parodies in Ballmastrz 9009. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully y'all learned some fun facts about various anime shows and you can seem cool as hell. Yeah. Anime's cool. Anyhow, be sure to watch season 2 of Ballmastrz 9009 Sunday on Adult Swim, and you can actually watch all of season 1 on the Adult Swim app for free. I'm Tim Liu, host of Crunchyroll, and please, if you guys like me for some reason, check out the YouTube Crunchyroll, where I do video essays. And now I'm gonna leave and throw this BB at people's faces for funsies. Ballmastrz.